What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the PGA Championship 2023. It is the second major of this PGA Tour season. We are the Tour Junkies. We are hot and ready, like
Hmm.
Little Caesars pizzas, to do this thing. You know what I mean? DB here, Pat. How we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm not a big Little Caesars fan,
Dude, I
by the
love
way.
Little Caesars. I think Little Caesars is very underrated right now.
Hmm.
The hot and
Just
ready
a
is
little
good.
too greasy.
Oh, dude. Speaking of greasy, can I confess something? Normally, we never do a show without podcast juice.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, we're gonna do the DraftKings DFS preview tomorrow. Tomorrow, I hope to be able to have podcast juice, but tonight, dude, I've been riddled with with some stomach problems today, and
Oh.
I normally don't have stomach problems, but today I do.
Hmm.
So I'm drinking water, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm just drinking
I
water.
mean, now what's that going to do to help? How do you know?
It's not gonna do much.
How do you know like a good podcast juice is not going to help you with anything?
It's too risky. I can't do it. But we got a lot to get into tonight. We're going to have a great show. We're going to talk about every range on the betting board, some outright bets, some top 20s, our top 26 pack at the very end. I have a very special guest that will be appearing throughout the show tonight. Pat doesn't even
Oh,
know about this.
I like special guests.
More on that starting here in just a second. I've got a text thread from a caddy today that was at Oak Hill. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to read that out loud, talk a little bit about that in this golf course here right at the top. We are presented to you by our friends at Leaderboard, the greatest golf app in the App Store, bar none. Now, it's only in the iOS App Store, which is perfectly fine. So if you're an Android user, they're working on it, okay? But the Leaderboard app in the iOS store is what you need for your own personal golf experience on the course, whether you're keeping track of your stats by yourself or keeping track of your score by yourself. You keep track of your stats, people. Like, know if you're missing, fairways left and leaving irons short and all that stuff. And then it just sends all that information straight to the USGA Gen with its integration with the USGA is fantastic. It's a beautiful app. It'll also help you settle all your bets with your buddies on the golf course. And it'll send you straight to Venmo when you lose and tell you what you owe everybody. It'll dot the scorecard for you. It's fantastic. Our friends at Leaderboard, check it out. Link in the description of the podcast and video. Also did a great Twitter Spaces with our friends Dylan and Riley at Leaderboard this past Friday. Did a little cut sweat for the Byron Nelson in the AM wave. It was fun. Might do that again this week for the PGA. We shall see. Pat, let's get into the golf course. Right into it. I don't want to do a full course breakdown, whatever, for Oak Hill because there's plenty of that out there. And frankly, 80% of it is just garbage. Like, we don't need it. Like, let's
Yeah.
boil it all down because you can go a lot of different places to get a lot of information about Oak Hill. You can get the history about Oak Hill. But as a gambler, do you give a rip about the history of Oak Hill? No.
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Donald Ross original design. That's what you need to know. I love Donald Ross. You love Donald Ross. You grew up on a Donald Ross golf course at Augusta Country Club. I love Donald Ross courses, pushed up greens, all that stuff. Andrew Green renovation here most recently. But Pat, what did you find in your search on Oak Hill?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the obvious is, you try to look at what are some comparable courses to this. We don't see a ton of Donald Ross courses like on,
Yeah, that's
as
sad.
regular courses on tour and then also in majors. But, we do see like Sedgefield, things like that. Last time, they had it here, Jason Duffner won. It was a lot different course though. I think this course that there's a couple things that I think are the biggest things you want to look out for. One, they took out a lot of trees. Okay. Took out a lot of trees, which what is that going to do? It's going to give the guys that can bomb it more of an advantage, just like they always seem to have. So I think driving distance is going to be a thing that's going to be a little bit more of a factor this week than when you saw Jason Duffner win, where we know what Jason Duffner does. He just hits a lot of fairways, hits a lot of greens. That's what he does. It's a little bit different here, though, this week. Another thing that I noticed is the bunkering around the greens. They're difficult. They're kind of aggressive bunkers. Like, I mean, there's like, if you don't, I mean, you might even have to go sideways out of some of them. I don't know. They're deep, they're difficult. So that's something that if you're missing greens, you're going to have some very tough bunker shots. I think that's going to be interesting as well. Bent grass greens with a little POA in there. What that means for me is that I may look at bent grass putters, but I think overall I'm just going to look at long-term good putting. I'm not going to try to drill it down and figure out, okay, is it POA? Is it bent? It's really predominantly bent. Okay, that's what it
Yeah.
is. They're going to be pure, fast greens, but I'm just going to look at putters long term. That's it. That's three things right there that I really care about. But in the end, strokes gained approach, some distance off the tee, good drives gained, I think is a good stat to look at. That's about it, DB.
I like what you said about the putting. I've already started tinkering around with an initial model, and what I did on the putting thing is similar to you, except I did exclude POA and Paspalum. So I just clicked the bent and the Bermuda filter, so it got both of them. Because recently we've played on some really pure Bermuda that really has very little grain and putts like a bent grass surface. So I've narrowed it down to kind of a long-term putting look on those two surfaces. But I think you're exactly right. And the Donald Ross greens, while they're a lot of them are pushed up and raised and elevated, and they do slope usually back to front. You're much better off being below the hole. If you're on the green, there's not a whole lot of undulation on the actual greens. Before we get into a whole lot from me, why don't I pull up what our caddy friend texted me today? You haven't even seen this, Pat. We had a caddy on site. Today's Sunday, by the way. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope everyone had a great Mother's Day. Hope you honored your moms, your spouses, all that good stuff. But happy Mother's Day. So he was out there on Mother's Day. I said, "How's Oak Hill looking?" His first response. I'm going to read this for you podcast listeners. That says, reminds me of the U.S. Open at Winged Foot. The rough isn't crazy long, but it's healthy and thick. Think long guys are going to have an advantage. They always do, but especially when the rough is like this. Like if we miss, okay, this caddy doesn't necessarily caddy for the longest player in the world. He says, like if we miss the fairway, we can't get it on most of the greens. Even on the par fives, if you miss the fairway, you'll do well to get it on the green in reg, which is wild. So then I asked him about chipping around the greens, and he says, greenside bunkers are all low and deep. They are probably the best miss in most cases, though. If you short side yourself in the rough, it could also be okay as long as you're short of the hole. These guys are so good at those little flop shots. There are quite a few fairway runoffs on some holes, which we've seen that in the flyovers. A lot of the closely mown areas, similar to like Southern Hills last year. Says there's quite a few fairway runoffs on some holes where the ball can get rejected way away from the green, so you got to be careful with those. If you told me we could hit it to 40 feet on every hole, never closer, but never missing the green, I'd take it. He said if we hit 54 greens in reg, it would be unreal. So I think this is what it comes down to. I think it is going to be a major advantage to long hitters, especially guys who hit it high and can land it softly into these elevated, pushed up greens. It is going to be chilly. I was looking at the weather, Pat. In fact, I'll just share my screen right now. Let's take a look at Rochester's weather report for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday looks fine. Thursday, very little wind. And obviously, this is Sunday, so this could change quickly. But very little wind on Sunday. The sunshine is out. But I mean, those morning tee times are gonna be teeing off in the like mid to low 40s, and by the time they're done, it's still not gonna hit 60. Warms up a little bit more on Friday. Still chilly in the morning. Then gets cool again on Saturday. I mean, the golf course is going to play long in the cooler temperatures. I think the golf course has had some rain lately. Fairways are not going to be super firm and fast. Thick, juicy, rough. Like this is a bomber's situation for sure. Mid and long iron approaches, being able to hit it high, being able to hit as short of clubs as possible from that 150 to 200 plus yardage bucket into into these greens. So par 70, you only got two par fives. A lot of that par four scoring, with long par fours at par fours, over 450 to 500 yards. And then like we see with a lot of majors, and really the PGA has turned into kind of the U.S. Open's like little brother lately, right? Like it's not the PGA Championship of a few years back that it was a little easier. Like they've tried to make it a little more difficult in the years past. So I do think just difficult scoring, grinding, being able to get it up and down around the green play, being essential. All of those things I think is going to add up to kind of what you need to know. Anything else we think we missed there?
No, that's what I would say. I think, it is kind of like baby US Open a little bit. But here's the thing that they do, though. The PGA likes to, they'll set up the course. They won't have it too tricked up. They'll make it difficult, and then they just let the players play it. That's what's
Yeah.
going to happen. So if we get lower scores, it just is what it is. We don't know. But it is, the course itself just looks to be a pretty difficult setup for these guys in general. So
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see like, just ridiculously low scores. But again, that's what I like about the PGA. They just let it, let the course be the course, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's hosted 7 other majors. It's definitely a major venue. The time of year is going to be interesting here. Winning score for now is probably going to be in that 8 to 12 under, but a lot could change again with this weather situation. So be on the lookout. Speaking of major season, Pat, I have a major this week. My member at
Ooh,
Champions Retreat.
I didn't
Is
realize
this
I forgot that was this
Yeah,
weekend.
it's this weekend. I'm having a wrist problem, so I got this KT tape on my wrist. I've been practicing too much, so this is not some new this is not like an American Eagle bracelet or anything. This is KT tape. So I've definitely been struggling with the some inflammation, but getting ready for a big time major. It's going to be a huge week for DB, so I'm excited about that. I think that's probably it in terms of the golf course. We talked about weather. Yeah, well, let's why don't we get into this, Pat? Shall we?
Okay.
Top of the board, 25 to 1 or short. By the way, Kistler's in the chat. Kistler, thank you. He says, I'm missing time with my mother-in-law who's in the next room to listen to you guys. Awesome.
Oh, good for you,
Beautiful,
Kissler.
Kistler. Thank you. 25 to 1 or shorter. Yeah, I guess the one thing we didn't talk about is like the PGA, even though it's starting to lean more towards US Open setups and conditions, we've still seen some interesting winners in years past. Of the remaining, well, I guess I don't know. I mean, the U.S. Open, you feel like it's definitely going to be a top 5 or 10 guy. It does feel like with the
Yeah.
PGA Championship, it could venture off into the mid range. Maybe we see lightning in a bottle for a player who's coming in hot and hits it well. So we could get some of that, but we're going to start out here at the top of the board, 25 to 1. Really, Scheffler and Jon Rahm are your co-favorites on most books, around plus 700, 750, something like that. Scotty Scheffler could have won the Byron Nelson. Didn't quite get it done. Of course, J-Day did, which we've been talking about J-Day all freaking year and didn't bet him again. So that's beautiful. Siwoo ran down Scotty, like I said he would on after Friday night. Ran down Scotty Scheffler. But just one shot shy of J-Day. It was a heartbreaker for me. But let's just talk about these two to start. We're talking outrights, right? This isn't DraftKings. Obviously, DraftKings, different ball game. DFS, different ball game. We'll get into that. But I mean, this is clearly if you're going to pick one, you're picking Jon Rahm, right?
I mean, I think, is it that clear? Is it clearly you
It's
got
not
to
that
pick
clear.
Jon Rahm?
It's not that clear, but at the same number, I mean, Rahm is the one without the glaring average kind of skill set in putting that Scotty Scheffler seems to have, right?
Well, recently, because Rahm has obviously been on fire with the putter. So,
Yeah.
I mean, in general, you would probably say, Scheffler's a pretty good putter as well.
Yeah, he's not a bad putter, but he's missed some He missed some shorties at the Byron Nelson. Like he's been a little suspect with the putter, is all I'm saying. I think he also was a little wild this week he made some bogeys this week. Like he made more bogeys to be where he was on the top of the board. Now he made a ton of birdies, but to be where he was near the top of the leaderboard of the Byron, he made plenty of bogeys on that course. And that's an easy freaking golf course. He lost a couple tee shots at times. I mean, I was watching him. I think it's clearly Jon Rahm. And at plus 750, I mean, it's better than what we've been getting him at like plus 300 or whatever. I mean, obviously it's a major. The field is probably the best, strongest field we'll see all year. But I think I'm going to go ahead. I want Jon Rahm at plus 750.
Do you think so?
I can't believe I'm saying that, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just this sounds so weird, but it's just a gut thing. I feel like Scheffler's. I think I want Scheffler. I want to go. I want to go against
doing
you.
this to be. You're just doing this to be against me.
No, I'm not. I really looking at it before the show. I was wanting Scheffler more than I was wanting Jon Rahm. Now it's like you're kind of splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
95% of people probably would go Rahm though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't need us to sit here and spend a lot of time on John
Yeah,
Rahm.
I mean,
So,
seriously.
not the one you want, but I think Rahm it is so close. So we're splitting hairs here for sure. But if we're splitting hairs, Rahm has been better across the board in every category, including putting. Just slightly better,
Yeah.
except for in putting. In putting, he's been a lot better. Um, so I think I'd lean Rahm there.
Okay.
Other than that, all right. So let's move down the board. Let me introduce our special guest, Pat. We have a guest,
Okay.
and he's going to be here throughout the show.
Mm.
And it's a little weird. Okay, get ready to get weird.
Yeah,
This
I'm
one's
already feeling like this is weird.
this one's not as weird as what we're going to see later on. We're going to have a good time with it. But in the Nut Hut in the Discord, which by the way, Pat, we didn't hit any outrights this week. We didn't. I went one for. I think I went 50% on my head to heads, but I crushed it in the props market. I don't know
Mm.
if you saw,
No,
but
I did.
my props game this week, I went 18, 8, and 2. I had winning cards, published winning cards of 6x, 5x, and 3 2x returns, 3 double ups. So 3 double up cards, a 6x, and a 5x. I think I had like 1 or 2 losing cards the whole week. Crushed it. Okay. Underdog and prize picks. Crushed it.
Mhm.
But in the Discord, we've added a new bot. We've added AI.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna get weird because I've seen this bot.
Artificial intelligence is going to be Mr. AI is going to be joining us for the show. And today, when I was thinking about some players and I was thinking about some guys that we should talk about tonight, I went ahead and I threw out some cues to our friend AI in the bot, and I had him draw us some pictures, paint me like one of your models.
Yeah. So
Pic-
he can't the AI can't talk, though. We don't have to listen
He
to.
can't talk. No, 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 no.
Okay.
So unfortunately, if you're listening on the podcast, you really need to watch the YouTube video because
Yeah.
you'll see these amazing pictures. And now the first one we're going to get to is probably the best picture of them all. The rest of them, holy moly. But anyway, the next guy, Mr. AI, I'm going to show you this picture. And it's Rory McIlroy.
Oh my goodness. He
And
poor Rory. Is
and
he
well, so let me tell you the command I gave our Discord AI bot. The command I gave was show me a very sad, downtrodden beta Rory McIlroy crying on the couch of his therapist as he approaches the PGA Championship. And there you have
Mm.
it. I mean, they got the Nike check in there, which is kind of bold for AI because AI
Yeah.
doesn't, they can't make the player, features and
Yeah.
faces look exactly like it. There's trademark and copyright issues. But I mean, to me, he looks like if Rory and Tommy Fleetwood had a love child or something. He's got a
Yeah,
little,
Rory's in a rough spot. I mean,
but he's very pensive there.
and he's even got like a special watch on, like a
He's got the Whoop or whatever.
yeah, the Whoop
They
thing.
even got his nipples in there. His nipples are always showing.
Yeah.
They did a great. I swear, it's all downhill from here. The rest of the players that I show you, you're gonna be like, what the
I
fresh
mean, this
hell is
is
that?
very much like Rory right now. If I saw Rory, if you said this was an actual picture of Rory on his therapist's couch right
Yeah,
now, that I would say, okay,
here he is.
that's it.
Well, I mean, I'm not betting Rory. I'm not betting Rory at 12 to 1.
I'm
I'm
not
not.
betting Rory.
I'm not betting Rory if he slide. Oh, but DB, he's a member here, and he spent all of COVID here, and his wife and his family's from here. I don't care. Don't care. We talked about now. I did say last week that maybe he comes into this major with less pressure because he's not playing as well. He's kind of been off the grid.
It's always the time to bet Rory.
But then again, he does have the pressure of the like second hometown crowd, right? It's not Ireland, but it's the wife's hometown. It's the Rochester hometown. It's the Rochester club that I'm a member at hometown. There is some he can't outrun the pressure ever, but so there's a little extra dash of pressure here at the PGA that he may have, in LA for the US Open if he continues to play like trash and act like a beta boy. But I'm not betting him. I'm out. You out? We're all out?
Yeah, I'm not betting Rory. I'll probably end up putting him in a DFS lineup just to do it, but I'm not betting
Yeah,
Rory.
DFS new ball game. Anybody else in here in the 25 to 1 or shorter range that you're interested in? I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there's two people right away. I mean, I think Brooks Koepka is somebody that I want to
All
play
right.
this week. I mean, he is. Look, we saw what he did at the Masters. I don't know how they finished up yet. I bet they're about finished
Yeah,
now in
they're
Tulsa. I know DJ was winning even with a
DJ
triple.
won.
Yeah, he
Um,
hit a triple today.
actually,
Um,
no, I don't know if that's true. Hang on. Sorry. No, Cam Smith won. No, sorry. Cam, Brandon Grace, and DJ are in a playoff at 17 under. I don't think
hmm,
it's been decided yet. They're in the playoff as we speak.
okay. Well,
Brooks, by the way, let me get to Brooks. Where did Brooks go?
he was
Brooks
up
finished
in
tied for 5th at 12 under, 5 shots off the lead.
yeah. Either way, I just feel like, Brooks is always going to come to play in the majors. We saw what he did at the Masters. Distance is obviously a key here as well. He's got all the tools to win here, and so Brooks Koepka at I think the best I've seen him is 22-1.
Yep.
But I do like that
That's
for BK. I like Tony Finau a whole lot at 25-1. We have seen Tony actually. He won on a Donald Ross design at Detroit Golf Club when they played there. I want to say that may have been, was that 2019 or 2020 during COVID when they
I don't
played
know,
in
but
Detroit?
there's a better number on Finau. I had him in the next range.
Oh, okay.
You can get Finau at 29-1 on FanDuel. Dude, I'm in love with Finau too. Like,
Yeah.
I feel kind of like a sucker. I
Mm-mm.
feel a little bit like a sucker.
I don't think that's a sucker bet at all.
I know, but like, he already gets Finau and all the Finau backers already get all this garbage about he can't win on a hard, in a decent field on a slightly harder PGA Tour regular run of the mill course, right? But I mean, the dude has an 8th, a 4th, and a 10th in the PGA Championship in his career. He's got an 8th, a 5th, and a 14th at the U.S. Open in his career. Obviously, we know what he's done at the Masters. So, I mean, he actually has more like top 8s at U.S. Opens and PGAs than he does at Augusta. So, I mean, I just feel like the door has got to just get flung open for Tony at some point. But I mean, of all the things we talked about, you needed Oak Hill. He obviously checks every single box. Love the
Everyone.
short game. He feels weatherproof to me too. Like whether the wind blows, it doesn't blow. It's cooler, it's hotter, it's rainy, it's not. It's a grindy thing. It's not a grindy thing. Like he feels completely weatherproof to me.
Yeah, I absolutely love tuna. And if you're getting them at 29-1, then I think you got to jump on that now
I agree.
because I think it does get shorter. Other than that, I don't really have anybody else. I mean, I think, you're going to see a lot of backers behind Day after this win, and I can't blame you for Day. I think DJ is
Where are
interesting.
his odds right now? Where's Days?
25-1 is what
Oh, he's 28 on FanDuel.
okay.
I don't think
Um,
it. Oh, well,
I
yeah.
think DJ is interesting to me, and I'm not just saying this. I actually
It is interesting.
started
He started
looking
bumping
at
his
him
head today.
before what he was doing this week with Liv, but he tends to have kind of a good record playing up in the Northeast from what I've
Yeah,
seen,
yeah,
and I just think and he's also won a few times, I believe, on Donald Ross design courses. So this just well, we know he's won it at East Lake. So East Lake is one of those Donald
yeah.
Ross. It's probably one of the most famous right now because that's the biggest golf tournament we typically see every year on a Donald Ross design. DJ's won there. So 25-1 DJ seems pretty.
However, to me, that feels like more of a DJ feels like more of a potential DFS play if people don't put a lot of credit into the live thing. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case like it was at the Masters. And I think people are more aware to the fact that like these guys are still really freaking good at golf. But
Yeah.
when I see DJ at 25-1 and he's right there with like Tony, who we already talked about, we really like. Brooks is in that range at 22. I think between those two is interesting. Like, other than DJ sucking at the Masters, I mean, if he's now kind of feeling it a little bit, and maybe he feels like he's a little left out from the discussion from the party. Although I wonder if we've always wondered if he really cares. Does DJ really care to win another anything? I don't know. But even with some of the names that we're going to get to here behind him, who are more regular regular guys on the PGA Tour or have at least shown up at a major or two of late, it doesn't feel like the numbers is good anymore. I think that I don't know what he was before, this weekend, but I bet he wasn't 25-1 before the live event.
You may be able to find him at a better number than
I
that.
just looked on FanDuel, DK, MGM, and PointsBet. He's 25-1 on literally every book.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you one more name in this range that I kind of like, and I haven't really been getting on this very often all year. I don't know that I've played him all year or bet him all year, but I mean, 24-1 on FanDuel, Justin Thomas is kind
It
of starting to.
is he gonna be able to putt well?
Well, I mean,
I mean,
obviously the
what is he
putter has
gonna
been
yeah.
very, very bad, but, cold, cold, possibly windy, long, hard Donald Ross, like, they're not like I said, they're not super tricked out greens once you're there. If you put yourself under the hole and you're not above the hole in these back to front sloping greens with these pin positions that they're gonna get to, I mean, again, it's not. Our caddy friend said if they hit it to 40 feet every green, they'd be fine because I don't. Maybe the 8 to 12 under score is too good. Like maybe what if it's less than that? Like then JT becomes more appealing because you just don't have to fill it up. You just got to get up and down. You got to score on the par fives, grab, one other weird birdie somewhere else. Um, there's a drivable par four, I think, that's going down, but I've already heard a lot of players may not even go for it there. I don't know. Like, but the ball striking, the driver, the irons have been tremendous. And the short game has been tidy as it usually is. So I don't know. He's been kind of calling to me a little bit today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. The thing about JT is he's maybe kind of like DJ too. Feels a little bit more like a DFS play to me. If I get a little bit lower ownership on him, I just don't know if he pulls out a win this week with the way his putter's going. And I get it. Like the conditions could, and the scoring could mean you don't have to, drop a lot of birdies as you say, but still, what if it's not? What if they're making a lot of birdies? What if he's not, and then he's not making any putts,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. A guy who I just I don't know. I can't get behind, and I'm already seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter about him. Um, well, before I tell you that, I gotta remind everybody about the Pickett app. We got a contest going this week. We got a couple contests going this week. You could win some cool stuff if you download the Pickett app today. I've already been sending out a bunch of these hats because I got a bunch of them at the Masters. Another Augusta National Golf Club, not Masters, Augusta National Golf Club hat, adjustable hat there, and the Masters koozie. That is an ANGC logo right there. It's got the ANGC tag here on it, not the Masters. You can't get this in the Masters Pro Shop. This is special. Brand new tag on it. Masters koozie. We're going to give that away to one person. And then I've got another giveaway going down on our Instagram this week. So stay tuned if you're not already following us on Instagram at Tour_Junkies. Both of those giveaways are going to be for the Pickett app. All you got to do is click on the description of the podcast or the YouTube video to download the Pickett app today. But here's what you have to do. When you download it, it's free to download, iOS and Android. You got to put in the referral code TJ, Tour Junkies. Just put in the letters TJ. That's it. Then, once you're in the app, you set up your account and you have to link at least one sportsbook or DFS site. So if you're not in a legal gambling state, you don't have a bunch of sportsbook accounts that you can link, you can easily link Prize Picks, Underdog, Sleeper, Parlay Play, whatever, Jock Market. There's all kind of DFS sites that it supports. If you just link one of them and then use Pickett to track your bets, track other people's bets, follow us on Pickett. It's a really, really useful app. The Pickett app is fantastic. Then when you do that, not only will you be entered to win this contest, but Pickett will also either send you $3 on PayPal or $100. One person a day wins $100 on the Pickett app. They're just giving you free money. Put that $3 on like a big 3-ball group parlay on round one, and who knows what happened. So knock that out, do that, and we're going to pick. And if you've already downloaded the Pickett app, make sure that you've used referral code TJ and you've linked a book. If you haven't linked a book, you're not eligible for this or the other prize that's going down on the Instagram this week. So you're eligible to win both of these prizes, whether you've already downloaded it and done all that, or you're about to. So link in the description. The guy that I don't like in this range that I hear people talk about is freaking Xander. Like, he does check a lot of boxes. I get it. I totally get it. But I mean, do we think Xander's kind of a beta too?
I don't know if does he have that dog in him?
He's never
As a lot
finished
of people
better.
like to say these
Right,
days.
right. I don't know that he does. He's never finished better than 10th at a PGA. Now he does have some really solid US Open performances. He's obviously, we all know he's never won a major. He's been super close. And he comes into a lot of majors in great form like he is right now. But I mean, like, he just got run down by Wyndham Clark. Like, boat raced. not even competitive after a certain point at the Wells Fargo. Like, I just don't get betting him at 22 to 1 when I could have. I mean, I think JT's floor is probably lower. JT could probably trunk slam by Friday and you're pissed. But who do you trust down the stretch late on a Sunday? JT and Bones or Xander and what's his name? Austin Kaiser. Like, I just don't, or Brooks for that matter, at the same price. Again, Brooks's floor probably worse. But I trust Brooks and JT to close the door more than Xander. I just don't understand it. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I think Xander does interest me, but I don't know if he could win. Again, we'll flip it around to DFS for me. I feel like, I could play Xander in some DFS. I've got some upside with him, maybe a good top 5 finish somewhere in there, whatever, make some birdies. He's up there. But other than that, like, I'm not ready to bet him to win. And here's the thing that I'll go ahead and say this, all right? Because we're already getting to this point. When you're looking at the betting odds, there are so many people in this field that you can bet. Like, I could look at this and have 10 to 15 players on my betting card, I bet, if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I really could. But I got to try and dwindle it down a little bit. I can't just, like, I'm not having a balanced allocation here. I got stocks here. I got bonds here. I got all these kind of things I'm trying to get in here. You know what? I just want 6 or 7 guys that I can bet and make some money. And I don't think Xander's going to make the cut. I just don't think he is.
I don't think either. AJ's mad at me. AJ's in the chat. He thinks I'm crazy for calling Xander a beta. He asked if I'm drunk, but if you're watching in the beginning of the show, AJ, no, I'm not drunk. I'm actually not drinking alcohol tonight because I got a stomach issue. Okay, so water only. But he says run down by Wyndham Clark. He was down 2 strokes going into the final round. Well, yeah, but I mean they were tied at one point, and then they were tied at one point in round 4, and then Xander baited up. He only ended up shooting 1 under on the final round. Wyndham Clark shot 3 under to beat him by 4 shots. Like, I mean, they were both tied, I want to say, at 15 under at one point, 13 or 15 under. And then Xander just like flamed out and it was just over. So I don't know. I don't think I don't agree. You
got to give some of that credit to Wyndham. Wyndham also played really well down the stretch 100%. Too. So
yeah, no, I do. All right, let's move on to the next range.
Okay.
So we talked about Finau, who I have here in 29 to 1. Let's bring in our friend AI again, artificial intelligence.
Oh, goodness.
Because there's been a little bit of drama, and there could be some truth to the rumors about Jordan Spieth. But if you were in our Discord chat on Wednesday night of the Wells Fargo, we shared some information that we heard about Jordan Spieth while we were there on site. Maybe, possibly, hopefully leading you to fade Jordan Spieth on that Wednesday when he then proceeded to miss the cut. And then he withdrew from the AT&T Byron Nelson with a wrist injury, putting out quite the statement that it's, 50-50. He didn't know. And I don't know. Like, I was talking to a buddy. I was at the golf course hitting balls next to a guy who plays on the Korn Ferry Tour. And he goes, do you think Jordan really really is hurt, or did he have to put a lot of stank on it, right? Because it's AT&T and that's his sponsors. Like, he really had to embellish it a little bit. And I was like, I don't know. It's kind of iffy. So I gave the Discord AI bot a command to give me Jordan Spieth holding the Wanamaker trophy with a cyborg wrist, like a wrist issue. And boy, does this one start getting weird. Here we go. There's Jordan.
Oh my gosh. Jordan does not even. This is.
Look at the one on the left. Like, look at the arm situation of the bot. Like, the AI guy just went really. Something happened.
Well, first off, I mean, when did a wrist become an entire left side of your body?
That is a pretty badass arm. He looks like Jax off of Mortal Kombat with that arm. But the other one looks like this. Like, even the bot's arm is backwards to its face, I think, and then Jordan's arm is like. Or there's a real arm coming out of something went wrong. They did nail the Under Armour shirt though. And honestly, for an AI who can't draw the exact picture of Jordan Spieth, I think the one on the left looks a lot like Jordan Spieth. Like, that looks more like Jordan Spieth, and the Rory one we saw looks more like Rory than the next few that we're about to see.
No, the one on the left looks like I don't even want to say the one on the left looks like that person should be locked up because something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. That person needs to be locked up.
So, what are we doing with Jordan? I mean, I think it's probably a wait and see right now. Obviously, his odds are, I don't think his odds are going to do anything except maybe stay where they are, maybe even get longer come tomorrow or Tuesday. But I would assume we're going to hear from Jordan in press conferences. Is going to be asked. He's going to be asked about it, obviously, and we'll see what he says. But it's definitely a situation to monitor
Yeah, it is.
because at 32-1 on FanDuel right now, that's kind of tempting. But
It's tempting, but I mean, do you really think it's going to get that much shorter? Even if he says like
no, probably not.
early in the week, like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm going to be good. I don't think the odds makers are going to sit there and like shorten it that much. I mean, they're not going to have. I don't think there's still going to be a ton of money that's going to even force them to do that.
Yeah,
So there's.
you're probably right.
I don't feel like that. So I don't think you're missing out if you don't grab Jordan early. Maybe like it's a last minute, you got a little left in your budget, and you want to grab him on Wednesday. Because I do think this is a good course for him. If I had healthy Jordan and maybe a little bit of form, I mean, I say that. I mean, it's not like it's been that long since he almost won Hilton Head. I mean, literally could have won Hilton Head easily. So,
Yep, I agree. I'm intrigued, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Other names in here, I think Tyrrell Hatton is obviously getting chatter. I mean, I even heard him on the broadcast talking, talking today, watching the Byron Nelson. I mean, as good as he was playing, I mean, Tyrrell Hatton was playing very, very well this week. You had him on your betting card, finished T5, really hit it great. I mean, gained strokes in every category. Shot a 7 under today after making bogey on the first hole. I mean, Tyrrell Hatton definitely, we've been talking about kind of a guy guys who have leveled up in weeks past. And I think Hatton feels like he's starting to approach potential level up territory. He's had a decent time at the PGA. He's got 2 top 10s. They were both T10s, a 13th place finish at the PGA. He's got a 6th place finish in the 2018 US Open. That's about as good as he's done on courses similar to, probably what we're looking at here for Oak Hill. But again, seems like kind of a weatherproof golfer, probably better the more difficult it gets. He certainly seems like he may have also added some distance off the tee, so he kind of checks that box. He's got a great little short game on him. I mean, Hatton's tempting to me at 55-1 on DraftKings, and I could see that number definitely getting shorter after today if it's not already.
yeah, I do like Hatton. I'm with you there. This is a range that I really love. I mean, there's 5 or 6 guys that I think we should definitely be betting. So I'm with you there.
All right, give me one.
All right. Well, I like Sungjae. I like
Yeah, I do too.
Sungjae at 35-1. Now, he's not going to wow you with a ton of distance off the tee, but you look at across the board at his stats. I mean, top 25 in ball striking, top 20 around the green, 20th in good drives gained. He's 5th off the tee. Putting is good right now. I looked a little bit at sand saves, and only because I think these bunkers are going to be pretty difficult for these guys. I don't always put sand saves in my model, but I just wanted to look at the guys that are best out of sand. He's top 25 there, and he's very accurate off the tee, which in any major, you had the screenshot from the caddy at the beginning of the show. He did talk he didn't say you have to be, he didn't, obviously, we know you gotta be long off the tee here, but he did kind of indicate with the way the rough is, you really got to be accurate as well. So I like that about Sungjae. Getting him in at 35-1. He is he's one I'm going to be all over, and I think that could actually shorten up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the Sungjae play too. I had him written down 36-1 on FanDuel, best number you can find there. Little concerning with the distance, but it just seems like he can overcome it. He's just super accurate, really good long iron player, good short game. Tommy Fleetwood, man, I'm going to keep talking about him. It's kind of like
I got him on there too.
It's kind of like the Wyndham Clark, Jason Day situation. Like guys that we've been talking about all year to like Wyndham breaking out, Jay Day to kind of get back on the winners podium here. And the PGA is a major where we've seen first time winners even get it done. And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for a guy like Tommy Fleetwood, who's a seasoned veteran, who knows what, he's been in the hunt before. He's just never closed the door. He's been close this year on closing the door to the first PGA Tour event. I mean, Pre-tournament, it feels like going, oh no, Tommy's first win is not going to be at the PGA, is not going to be a major. But if I told you on Sunday, 7 days from now, like Tommy Fleetwood won the PGA, would you be all that surprised based on how he's been hitting it?
No, not at all. The way he's been hitting it.
No, I mean, finished fifth here last year, has a runner-up and a fourth at a U.S. Open. I mean, checks all the boxes. Like, I'm looking at a couple things in the model right now. Very good around the green. Very good out of the sand. Par 4, 450 to 500 yards. Long-term look, 27th in the field. The proximity long-range bucket, proximity buckets long range, like 150 to 175. He's top 30 in the field. 175 to 200. He's 17th in the field. I mean, he hits it far enough. He's not super long, but like I said, the mid irons and long irons are great. So I think Tommy Ladd at 65 to 1 on DK is it's gonna get my money. It just is. I'm not gonna. I don't want to have another Wyndham Clark J-Day situation where I just don't keep riding a guy who I'm high on.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I have Fleetwood written down. Two other guys that I like. Both
before we get into those guys, another great promotion. We got promotions because it's the major week, and our partners want to get in front of you folks and help y'all out and deliver some goodies. So I got some more goodies. This one from our friends at SoBet. And if you're in the Discord, you're about to get a hell of a deal. All right. So SoBet is where you can access over 30 professional handicappers, vetted handicappers that when they post on SoBet have to post their units. When they post on SoBet have to say whether they won for the day or lost for the day or the week or whatever it is. Our exclusive top 40 round robin is exclusively found on SoBet. Last week we hit all 5 legs for a 12 to 1 return. But like this week, I lost about a quarter of a unit. So I have to post that in SoBet and let you know. So there's a full transparency to the platform. That's what I love about SoBet. And you get every sport: baseball, NFL, college, NBA, hockey, UFC, everything you can imagine. There's a pro for everything, and they're all vetted by our friends at SoBet. And there's thousands of people cashing a bunch of tickets on SoBet regularly. It's $9.95 a month. You can cancel at any time. You can get, all the benefits, exclusive content, promos, all that good stuff on SoBet.io. There's a link in the description, podcast and video. Promo code TJ. Here's the deal. Promo code TJ gets you in and gets you set up. But there will be a special Nut Hut only Discord discount dropping, and it's huge. It's a 6-month discount, and it will have you a 6-month full access deal on SoBet for less than $35 over the 6-month period. So it's a hell of a deal. That's coming to the Discord. That drops on Monday, and we appreciate our friends at SoBet doing the damn thing. It's really is a tremendous app. You can just blindly tail a lot of these people, and they end up doing pretty good. All right, who's your other two that you like? I wonder if you're going to say one more that I like.
All right, well, both of these are live guys, actually.
Okay, then I bet you are going to say one because my last one is a live guy.
Well, one I'm going to say on the shorter end is Cam Smith. He's at 35 to 1. I feel like if you like Cam Smith, who may win this week, I don't know.
By the way, DJ won in the playoff.
Okay, DJ won over Cam Smith and whoever else.
Brandon Grace.
35 to 1 to me on Cam Smith is just a little bit too long there. So I do like the odds there for him. The other one is Taylor Gooch at 60.
Do we trust Cam Smith's driver? That is the main concern I have.
I get it, but still, I mean, it's Cam Smith,
come on,
man.
Like that's. It just feels I don't trust the driver on Cam at all. That's too scary for me.
Do you know where you can? Not spray the driver, DB?
Where? Don't say Augusta National because you 100% can.
David.
What?
You notice how I called you David?
Yes.
How long have I known you?
Like since early 2015.
And we've that I know Augusta National, right?
Yes.
So I would never say that you can't spray the driver at
Okay.
Okay.
You talking about St. Andrews?
No.
Oh, okay.
TPC Sawgrass. You got to hit the driver pretty good at Sawgrass, right? Guess who won at Sawgrass?
Yeah.
Cam Smith. All right? The dude, it doesn't matter. He's almost course proof. He really is.
Nah.
So 35 to 1, Cam
Smith.
He
feels like Xander to me at 35 to 1. He feels like a guy who
don't be.
Hold on.
Start talking about Cam Smith, beta Cam
no,
Smith.
No,
I'm going to be going crazy.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
except for the beta part. What I'm saying is it feels like in that same range, I can get better players at the same number or better right now, like better players right now and with less major concerns like the driver.
There's not many players in the
But good for
world
you.
that are better than Cam Smith.
I would agree, but that doesn't mean that every course is good for Cam Smith.
Okay, all right. Well,
Who's your other
the
guy's
other
favorite?
one's
Gooch?
Taylor Gooch at
Me too.
65-1.
Oh, I see
I
him
would
at
love for him to win too and just like stick it in the USGA's hiney.
I agree. I think that's ridiculous. Okay, wait a minute. He's 75-1 on FanDuel. You must not have checked FanDuel this week.
Well, I had to,
You had a lot to do. It's 75-1 FanDuel. I had that one written down, and I agree. He didn't have the best week this week. He finished 36th, shot 2 under, 1 over round 2, and 3 under today. So not great, but I mean, again, the guy won back-to-back events a few weeks ago, shot back-to-back, 62s in Australia. Like, he's hot. I think he's hot about the damn US Open thing. And I mean, this is a guy who, unlike some other live players, unlike, I don't want to throw shade at a guy who I really, 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 really love, but at least Taylor Gooch, he's popped up in a couple of majors and been okay. Like he's not. I don't think he's top 10 in any majors, but like he's probably got better finishes in majors than Max Homa does. Got a 20th at Southern Hills last year. That's probably better than anything that Max Homa has. Got a few top 35s at the Open, and that's it. So he's been slightly better than Max Homa at majors, but
Yeah.
I just feel like, chip on the shoulder, Gooch, 75-1 does feel nice. All right, so we can't leave this range, though, without talking about a guy who I've already seen come up in the chat. People want to know. Cam Young, 35-1. He's the New York boy, right? He's the Sleepy Hollow, the pride of Sleepy Hollow, Bombers course, right? Well, I mean, he burned my britches at the Wells Fargo. I'll tell you that when I was trying to make the Rory, the junior Rory comparison. But what do we think? I think I'm out. Like, if you look at how he did last year in these majors when he made runs, his form coming in was way better than it is right now. Like, his irons aren't great. I love the Paul Tesori change. We've talked about it. Everybody's talked about it. I think ultimately it's really good for him. But I mean, Paul Tesori can't hit the shots, right? Like, Paul can't hit the freaking iron shot, and apparently neither can Cam Young. Paul might be better at it right now. So I don't trust him, and I think his number is not good based on the current form and where he was last year when he had all these high finishes.
Cam Young is like, I don't even say this too much because I like to, when we come on and do the show, I like to like just go all in or not be in on a guy and not be kind of wishy-washy. I'd rather just say what it is. But can I wait? Can I take a wait and see with Cam Young?
Yeah.
Can I just do that? Because I don't know. There's a part of me that, like, when I first looked at it, I didn't want to play him. But then I feel like I could get later on this week and be like,
By the way,
there's a lot that makes me want to bet him.
By the way, I forgot we do have one AI visit here. Our friend Artificial Intelligence on DJ. This is actually a Nut Hut. This is actually a Nut Hut Discord submitted piece here. Our boy Chris Hartz. Shout out Chris in the Nut Hut.
All right, let me just say this. I haven't seen this. I have not seen this, and I'm not saying anything about Chris. Okay? I'm not saying anything about Chris.
Okay.
Long time Nut Hut guy. Big fan of TJ. Mm-hmm. I will be shocked if the Nut Hut did not put Paulina in here somewhere. Okay, having not seen this.
Yeah, you cheated or something.
No, I didn't cheat, but I just know the Nut Hut, and I kind of know Chris.
Here's Chris. Here's Chris's. Chris gave the commands. I don't know. I can't remember what the commands were to the bot, but I don't think this is that bad, except for the middle picture is quite interesting. I mean, this middle picture, I wish I could zoom in. I mean, DJ's got the outdoorsman eye. He's got one camped and the other one fishing. Like one of them's looking straight ahead and the other
Yeah.
one directly crossed. And he's also very skinny. Um, anyway, this is quite funny to me.
Left side DJ is
AJ, get out of here.
is the most accurate, I
Left side
guess.
DJ that one definitely looks the best. And he has that kind of flat affect too. I mean, AI nailed that.
Yeah.
Like, just like the I don't give a
I
rip.
will say, I thought for a second Paulina's hand was in a little bit different spot, but it's actually on the trophy, so
Yes,
that's good.
barely.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a couple more visits from our AI friend coming up. So let's get to the next range.
Yeah.
Boy, there's a guy in this range that I just have so many AI drawings of because it got so freaking weird. Next range is kind of long shots up to 130 to 1. And I mean, I got a few in here, but as you start to really ask yourself the question, but can he win? Will he win? It gets difficult, and it really helps you narrow it down in these next two ranges. So I want to talk first about Wyndham Clark. I think
Mhm.
Wyndham Clark at 80 to 1 on DraftKings is a for sure bet. Again, the PGA is one of those majors where we see first time major winners break through and like we see guys who are just playing really, really well. I mean, God, let's remember Y.E. Yang beat Tiger Woods one time at a PGA championship. Like all the PGA championship, if you look at the list of PGA championship winners, it's interesting. And a lot of them just came in hot. And Wyndham Clark is one of the hotter players in this field right now. In the first little model that I ran, he is the 10th. He is 10th overall ranked in my model. Obviously, he's a bomber. The irons have been money. The bogey avoidance over the long term has been fantastic. He's got the touch around the greens. The putter is great. He's not terrible out of the sand. I think Wyndham Clark at 80 to 1 on DraftKings is a perfect play. Love it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just the way Wyndham's been playing, everything. I mean, it is a good play. So I'm with you there. DB, I know this is a guy I've not been on all year, and I loved him last year, and he kept
Yeah.
disappointing me. Kept disappointing me. Shane Lowry at 80 to 1.
Oof.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
going with Shane.
I looked at him.
Here's the thing with Shane. Like, if you actually just look at his history in majors, it's very good
It
for
is.
very good in majors. It's good in the PGA Championship. You look at the last 5 years, he's got 4 top 25 finishes. He's got 2 top 10s, and then he's also got a top 15 in there too. So the guy just plays well in majors, and he's right around it all the time. And then you look at his skill set. I mean, definitely a good scrambler and ball striker. He's actually got more distance than you may think off
Oh,
the tee.
100%. Yeah, he's
So
long.
it's not like he's not short by any means. The putting's always going to be the deal there. He's not necessarily the best putter in the field, but he hits a lot of fairways also. I think Shane Lowry is a very sneaky player, not only in DFS this week, but I think he's a great bet here at 80 to 1 if you can get him at that number. So this,
Okay, can I pull up something on Shane Lowry and show you something? I just want this is what concerns me. These are his strokes gained numbers, right?
yeah,
We see this a lot with guys. When they work on one thing, something else tends to suffer. Look at his approach play, which is fantastic. And I mean, approach play is very important. Look at his approach play over the long term, 145 measured events versus now. Like it's pretty good, right? Last 20 events, he's averaging 2.4 strokes on approach.
yeah,
That's great. But look at the around the green play and the putting. Like putting, he's never been great, but he was at least probably more like neutral. Lately, trash. Around the green, he was always better than average. Lately, trash. Like I don't love that about Shane. I think he could turn it on. I think he could turn it on. But that's the one thing that I saw about him that I didn't love.
yeah. I mean, I hear you there. I mean,
All right, who else?
there's a lot of things we could fault about these guys in this range too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a little bit longer shot range here. I think Adam Scott at 90 to 1. We've seen Adam play very well over the last, like, really this year. I mean, he's just
Yeah, he's playing well.
he just hasn't been able to get it done. Kind of like Jason Day. Everybody's been talking about Jason Day, and Jason Day finally just got it done with a win. Adam Scott's been right there behind him, playing extremely well also. So I like him also.
All right. Well, I looked at Scott, but ultimately I'm not going to land on him. I'm going to go Keegan at 110 to 1 on DraftKings. And that's the best
Yeah.
number on Keegan by far.
Good Donald
Obviously,
Ross player too.
Donald Ross, Northeast guy, all those narratives, all those boxes Keegan's going to check. But it's not just that, right? It's also the ball striking that we've come to know about Keegan Bradley. He's a PGA Championship winner from 12 years ago or whatever it was. But I mean, the proximity numbers long term from 175 to 200 are fantastic. He's long enough. The iron play is great. He can scores on these long, difficult par fives. The putter's been a little better lately. Does well on difficult courses. I think Keegan at 110 to 1 is probably going to get shorter. So if you like Keegan, I think I'd hit that. And then finally, Pat, there's one more player we got to talk about, and our friend AI has quite the plethora of ridiculous artwork here that I will show you in just a second. Before I do, our friends at DraftKings have Reignmakers being cooked up, Pat, and we are going to help promote Reignmakers here over the next few months, because if you've not dipped your toe in the Reignmakers waters, you should. Okay, you should. It's a really fun take on DFS, kind of DFS slash NFTs a little bit. They probably don't. It's probably not technically what I'm supposed to say, but the last drop, you've got $350,000 in prizes. You can collect golfers, including those playing in the second major. It's a beautiful thing, this Reignmakers game. So you can start your PGA Tour collection, play for free, claim your free starter pack, and get in on the action with DraftKings Reignmakers. Compete for the prizes all season long. As I mentioned, you can spend $5 and get a free booster pack, which is great. And you can get that. The link is in the description of the podcast and video. That link will take you right where you need to go and give you the discount. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Marketplace and daily fantasy sports. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Reignmakers contest not available in Connecticut, Hawaii, Indiana, Louisiana, whatever, other places. See marketplace.draftkings.com or draftkings.com for details. I'm not going to name all the states. What are we doing? But anyway, Reignmakers.
You really have to read all that?
Yeah.
Well, Reignmakers is fun, actually. I've started dabbling in it a little bit. So,
and we're gonna do a piece of content here in the next couple of weeks with someone from DraftKings, and really kind of like walk through it as noobs, as big time beginners, and kind of show you step by step how to get started, how the game works, opening packs, doing all that stuff, setting up lineups. It'll be a good time. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for that and be on the lookout. All right, Pat, our friend AI, I'm going to have to run through these quickly because there's so many bad ones. But I want to talk about Ricky Fowler. He's also at 80 to 1. We talked about Wyndham Clark. Ricky Fowler, 80 to 1 on DraftKings. Again, as good as he's been playing, definitely could take down the PGA Championship. So I gave the command here, and the command I gave the AI bot was Ricky Fowler rising out of a golf course like a phoenix from the ashes, holding the Wanamaker trophy. And boy, we got some interesting iterations here. Here's the first set. So,
oh my goodness.
Now, again, the likeness thing is an issue, but I mean, this one, he looks like he's Justin Suh on top right, like he's Justin Suh. He's in his stance. And this one, he's holding a child's golf club, I think. I don't know. This one, he's holding a spatula. I don't remember saying spatula in there. These are all interesting. There's more. I'm going to have to move through these quickly because we don't have a lot of time. So interesting concepts here. I kind of thought this one looked good. This one, you can't really tell now because of where we sit on the video, but hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah. This one looks like he's flaming from his crotch. This one looks like he needs to go see the doctor. That one's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's more. Hold on. So I thought that one was good. So, that looks cool, huh? Like, that's kind of cool.
That actually looks pretty good. That actually looks fairly like Ricky.
Now, they can't do the Puma stuff, so it's got this weird alternate
Why
logo.
can't they do Puma if they can do Under Armour and Nike?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. And then I said with wings. I said with large wings. And so we have this, which is kind of gangster, huh? I mean, that doesn't look terrible. So, I mean, that's look at that. And this one was interesting because that kind of looks like a golf club.
And they put an Under Armour shirt on them.
Yeah, Under Armour shirt, and that looks like a baseball. So, and then I like how that hand is just like, "Hey, yo, I'm here." I don't know. That the Ricky
Why
one.
does his hand only have 3 fingers?
What? I didn't even notice that. Does it really? Oh my god! It has 3 fingers and a thumb. Holy crap!
Well, now we know what the hell's wrong with Ricky's game lately.
I didn't even recognize that. Anyway, I think we bet Fowler, man. Like, why would you not bet Fowler at 80-1 with all his major championship
He lost a
experience?
finger. I'm not betting him if he lost a finger. Not that that's a bad. I mean, like, I just don't think he's ready to play with the four finger hand yet.
Last 24 rounds, 9th in strokes gained approach, 23rd in bogey avoidance, 16th in birdies or better gained. Long term, top 15 in the 150 to 175 proximity bucket. I just think Ricky's a dude. I think he's playing too hot right now, and he's too big of a veteran. If he got in it at 80-1, I think we do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I think I have one more AI friend, but let's get to the next range, shall we? And then we'll button this up with some top 20, a top 26 pack. We'll get out of here. Next range, bombs. I got two. I think the biggest value on the board right now, and I can't even believe I'm saying it because it feels icky. I'm gonna have to take a shower. Let's see if he's still there. Yes, he is. FanDuel has Gary Woodland at 160-1. I mean,
I don't mind it really. I really don't. If you look at all, I mean, he is gonna. If you're looking at models, if you're a
yes.
model person, he's
Yeah.
gonna be way up there in your model.
In my first one, he's 13th.
Yeah.
He's last 50 rounds, 200 yards plus proximity. He's number 1. Last 50 rounds, 175 to 200. He's number 13. Last 50 rounds, 150 to 175. He's number 3. Obviously, we know he hits it far. He's 14th in strokes gained approach last 24 rounds. He's 18th last 24 rounds in birdie or better gain. Like, Gary is crushing it. Now, his putter is terrible and he sucks out of the sand. But at 160-1 for a US Open winner and a guy playing as good as he is right now, that's stupid good value.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I kept looking at it and thinking to myself, I don't know if I want to do it, but you're right. I mean, like, it's great value and where he is as far as the model and everything else. I do like it. So, all right, here's another one.
Yeah, who you got?
Taylor Moore. 150-1. We've seen Taylor win this year. He's been a guy that I've been on. I like Taylor Moore. I think he could. I know this is
Yeah, you hit him once at 50-1.
Yeah. So the guy's just been playing extremely well this year. So I like Taylor Moore. I like Chris Kirk also at 200-1. This feels like a Chris Kirk type golf course. I know he's not necessarily that long off the tee. I mean, he's okay long, but great around the greens, though. He's 4th in the field in strokes gained around the greens. He's top 20 in sand save percentage. Just overall game, Chris Kirk I like here. So I think he at 200-1 is another one. And then HV3, 300-1, DB.
Whoa, okay.
300-1
I don't know
HV3.
about those. I got one more. Why not Siwoo Kim at 150-1 on PointsBet? Almost ran down J Day here.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Gained 2 strokes on approach today. Gained strokes across the board at the Byron Nelson. He's been, obviously he's a winner already this year. Last 24 rounds, last 50 rounds, 175 to 200 proximity. He is number 1 in this field, number 7 in this field from 150 to 175. Excellent short game, excellent out of the sand. I mean, he's long enough. He's not very long, but he's long enough, I think. Worries me a little bit, but he hits a lot of, I mean, even though he's not long, last 24 rounds, he's 18th in strokes gained off the tee. He's a players champ, bro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Players champ, bro. And, 13th place finish at the PGA in 2020, 13th place US Open finish back in 2017. Not much to write home about there in terms of major championship record, but just playing well. A guy playing well at 150-1 who's not afraid. I tweeted on Friday night, I said, live bet Siwoo at 12-1. He's the only one on that board I trusted to outrun and catch Scotty Scheffler. And he did. He just didn't catch Jason Day. But Siwoo is not afraid. His aggression worries me a little bit because I think you're going to have to obviously play conservative in majors, which may be why he doesn't have a great major record. But at 150-1, who cares? You know what I mean? By the way, he is the subject of our final AI bot visit.
I knew there had to be a Siwoo AI thing
I did
here.
2 different requests here. The first one is, I asked AI to put Siwoo Kim's head on a goat's body, okay? And it did not comprehend.
Okay, that didn't go well.
This is this one is the
Oh
weirdest
my
one of them
god.
all. Yes. First of all, I think Uncle Tyler in Discord figured out that they're pulling Siwoo Kim, who's like a like world famous violinist or something. I kept saying PGA Tour Pro Siwoo Kim wouldn't do it. So like his face in every one of these is not right. In one, he's got the goat on his shoulder with goat ears. The other one, he is a
Mm.
goat, which is kind of where I was going. The other one, the goat is mounting him from behind. And the other one looks like a school picture where he's holding a goat. And I think it
Yeah.
actually, yeah, it gets
There's
weirder.
my 2 favorites are the corner ones, with the
Yeah,
one with he's got goat ears and the goat just, like, peering behind him, and then the other one where the goat has his
his
hoofs on his
paws over his
shoulder.
shoulders.
I mean, that's
Like the
just
goat's giving him a prostate exam or
yeah,
something.
it's just
Uh,
it's just kinda like, yeah,
well,
this is
I
great.
hate to tell you it's gonna get weirder. So here is the next one, okay? So the one on the left to me, the one on the bottom left looks like is he playing shortstop? Like, what are we doing? What is that doing? What is that guy doing? And then the other 3 are just kinda, again, kind of the picture posing.
Well, the corners again, the top left and the bottom right corner there, it's just like Siwoo's with his
Siwoo and his goat.
goat lover.
Yep, alright, hold on, just wait, and y
Oh,
it's
okay.
getting better with the face
Now
now.
the
See?
face is picked up,
Face
okay?
is getting better. Now the last one is about to get very strange. We're gonna end on this last one here. So, this is getting a little better. I think we gave it a slightly different command, and I think it just got weird. Um, here's the last one.
Oh, no, No, wait, what happened? Something happened here. Something happened.
I
What
listen,
did you mistype?
no, no. I honestly don't know what happened.
No, something happened because that couldn't happen. You had to type something in there.
Somebody typed in a different command. I think Uncle Tumnus or is it Uncle Tumnus from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe's image was added as a reference, and something just came out weird, and then yeah, so everybody AI is going to take over the world, but it's got a long way to go. You know what I mean? That was
Mm,
our friend AI.
okay.
Listen, fun things you can do in the Discord you didn't know you could do. Not only can you tail us and can you tail Joe Idoni, who's crushing the head-to-head market, you can also play around with our AI bot, just have it do weird stuff all the time and laugh. So that's what we do. Pat, it is time for the top 20 six-pack. Speaking of Siwoo, though, I have an announcement. Speaking of Siwoo, we have a very special Siwoo thing going on for the PGA Championship that I'm thrilled about. Courtesy our friends at Underdog. Look at this. They are doing a partner special, the Tour Junkies and Siwoo and
Oh,
Underdog
love it.
Fantasy. This is going to drop on May 17th. I think that's Wednesday on the Underdog. If you are a Underdog user who has used our promo code, if you've used the TJ Underdog code, which is, let me just make sure I got this right. Yes, it's Junkies. Okay. If you've signed up for Underdog using our code, or you want to now, you can use the link in the description and use code Junkies. You also get your 100% deposit match bonus up to $100 when you do so. But on top of that, you get this free square. So they're giving us the free square of strokes, a half a stroke from Siwoo Kim on round 1. So basically, if Siwoo Kim hits his first tee shot and you click higher than a half a stroke, you've hit that leg of your Underdog play. So you can pair it with another play and maybe do a double up situation. You can put it with 4 other plays, and really go crazy. But they're basically giving you the free square as long as he hits a tee shot, and the 100% deposit match if you use our code, or you have used our code and promo code Junkies. So check out Underdog. We love Underdog. Legal in the following states if you're looking here on YouTube: that we're talking about Pick'em here. So the yellow states here on the YouTube graphic is where Pick'em is eligible. But they also have the best ball drafts, which they have now. The Albatross is back. So the Albatross best ball draft for the remaining 3 majors is back. So if you drafted for the Masters, all your teams got screwed out of it. You can draft again for the next 3 majors and get in a new contest. They're giving away a bunch of money, and there looks to be some overlay. So if you want to take some advantage of overlay, I would do that right now. Again, link in the description and use code Junkies. All right, top 20 6-pack, and we're out of here. 2 locks and a bomb at 4-1. I'm going to go. Well, why don't you go? Because I think we're going to have some. Well, you go. That way I won't steal yours.
Okay. Well, my first lock is going to be Tony Finau.
Yep. That was
plus
my
105.
first one.
All right. So I mean, I don't have to talk about it anymore. The next one, probably stealing also. Tommy Fleetwood plus 200 is my top 20.
Yep.
So Fleetwood and Finau are my 2 locks.
Okay. I'm going to go Hatton at plus 180. So we've talked about all these guys so far. I'm going to go Hatton at plus 180. I love your 2, by the way. I was going to say Finau for sure. But I will also throw in Fowler. I'm going to throw in Fowler at plus 260. That just feels juicy to me.
Okay.
I really like that.
All right.
Who's your bomb?
Well, my bomb, there's so many different directions you could go. We haven't even mentioned this guy, but I'm going to go with Emiliano Grillo
Really?
at plus 750. I love the way he's been playing lately, man.
Ugh.
He has been playing extremely well, okay? So I think Grillo, I mean, you look at his last 3 events, top 10 at the Heritage, top 10 in Mexico, top 25 at the Wells Fargo, very difficult golf course. He's made the cut in his last 4 times that he's played the PGA Championship, with the top 25, I believe, at the last time he started. So still, yeah, I like Grillo plus 750. I just like the way he's playing, man.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, I am going to go with a guy at 10-1. 10-1. Now, the last bomb top 20 I gave out a few weeks ago, plus 850, hit Alexander Toasty. He has a 9th place finish at the 2017 PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. He's also, let's see what else he's got here. He's playing pretty solid right now. He's a multiple winner on the DP World Tour. Okay. Recently finishes of 16th, 6th, 24th, 23rd, 17th, 20th, won back in the fall. He's a multiple winner on the DP World Tour, as I mentioned. Is Jordan Smith, the bomber Jordan Smith at 10-1. I kind of like old Jordan Smith, man. I'm usually a sucker for that guy anyway. He hits it a long way. I love it. I thought you were going to go Taylor Moore at 4-1. He feels like the safest 4-1 top 20 to me.
I think he does. I wanted to go a little bit longer shot, though, because I think there's so many good guys here that are good long shot plays that I would just rather have him as a top 20 than an outright. So,
yeah.
Right. Adrian Maroc is another guy that's been like plus 550. Just won recently. He's another one that you could look at.
The Polish mauler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, what a fun-filled show that was. Our AI bot, thanks for stopping by. We'll probably do that again on other shows. We thank you for tuning in. The DFS show will drop on Monday. Obviously, we'll have the Nut Hut Discord live chat on Wednesday for lunch. That's that family time we know and love. That will be private only for Discord users, paying Discord members, as well as the Wednesday night chat between me and Pat and the Discord server. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait. All the articles are dropping on tj.com. Don't forget to check that out. Around the Clubhouse by our boy Jack Latterman is already out. And Pat, I don't know if you know this, but you've made an appearance in Around the Clubhouse.
Oh, wonderful.
That's a fun article. Our boy Vince Margiotta has your Let's Go Juicing plays, which I love. The Save Your Ass Sunday Parlay, which is great. It's just, there's a lot of good content on tourjunkies.com. And it is all free. Both the emails will be going out this week as well. Pat, anything I missed? Don't forget the Pickett giveaways. Get this Augusta National hat.
Yeah, get the hat.
Watch the Instagram at tour_junkies as well for another giveaway.
Wow. I don't have anything else. Let's just win all the money this week. That's all I want to do.
Let's do it. Let's bend over our bookies, and we'll see you next week. Elevated event next week. Let's have a great week.